What's up, everyone? Welcome to Baseball 4 Podcast. Gus Rico here. Welcome to episode 50. Episode 50, 50. Congratulations, Andy.
Yes, sir. No,
We,
congratulations to you, man.
oh man, it feels good. Feels good to hit 50, I should say. I remember when we did our first one with a lunch table here, we thought it was a press conference.
Yeah,
We
no,
look at it now, but man,
you've devolved.
we all have. But welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We got a great one today here. But before we do that, I want to go over some updates. Quick updates here. Our Braves Baseball Academy winding down and winding back up. When I say winding down, we're pretty much done with our season. Congratulations, boys and parents, coaches, on a successful, rocky up and down season. I know we weren't perfect, but we definitely got through it together. We got tryouts coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday tryouts. We are let's just say we're over the 200 mark of kids coming out, which is outstanding for all of us here. That means we're doing something right or wrong. But anyways, yeah. So we're excited to try, for tryouts this weekend. We're going to focus on that a lot this next couple of days here. So yeah, if you haven't registered, go out and register. If you don't want to register, feel free to walk in. It's going to be well organized like every year, and we're going to move quick this year as far as the tryout goes, and then we're going to go. Well, first we have our coaches meeting, and then tryouts, and then program meeting, and then we're up and running with Tori from Hardcore Fitness. But again, episode 50. To my left, my co-host Andy Lira.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Episode 50, man. Welcome. Congratulations to Gus Rico here for taking the chance with me on this great podcast. And we've been doing nothing but just elevating more and more and more. And we are thankful for our guests, man. All the 49 guests now, the 50th one here. We are thankful for you guys to be able to come and help us out and grace some good content, talk about good baseball, whether it be coaches, umpires, parents, whatever it was. We appreciate it. And now we're all moving on into everything. We're going to be talking about some special stuff today for the future, for athletes and all that. But it's also we're going to get to talk to another ex major leaguer, play with the Dodgers and the Yankees. Great guy. Pitcher, so we'll be talking about arm injuries and all that as well to see how that goes, especially with nowadays how that is. But great guy, definitely love to get to meet him today here as well. You guys will too. But nonetheless, on episode 50, Cory Wade, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How you guys doing?
Good, Corey. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thanks for having me.
No, man. Thanks for coming on. We tried this a couple months ago.
Yeah, we've been trying for a while, man. We've been kicking them tires on this for a minute.
Yeah, I
I'm glad
know.
we get it going.
We had high school baseball and then this and that. So, but no, we had internet problems earlier, and the Spectrum guy came by. I got on the phone with him. I was like, you guys don't understand. We have a podcast today. I can't flake on this guy.
Yeah.
But no, man, thanks for doing this. This fungo here is standing in the middle of Andy and I. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this fungo here was given to me back in the days by Alex in Horion. So it's a max bat fungo. And Alex and Jonah, thanks for setting this up. I know Alex was like, "Hey, man, you got to get this going with Cory." So I hope they're watching. If they're not, they're fired.
You're right. I want to say something too. He's always giving me crap about us, so I'll make sure I say something if he's not on here.
Exactly. But no, man, let's get into it, Andy. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where you started, how you grew up to where you're at now. You don't got to give super details, but give us an overview of how you are where you are now.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Indianapolis. Multi-sport star. I would like to say I was an athlete, even though I ended up pitching. But did that. I grew up in an inner city public high school. It was really kind of there was nothing. We weren't really known for baseball. We had a couple professional athletes come out of there, like Stacey Turan. So we had a decent little history of some athletes coming out and playing some professional sports, but really none in baseball. So I went there, and then I ended up at Kentucky Wesleyan, D2 school, like a real small D2 school in Owensboro. Pitched and played shortstop there. I did that all 3 years, and I was drafted in 2000. I'm aging myself. I wish I didn't have to say this out loud. 2004, I was drafted in 04. It seems like yesterday, but man, it's been 21 years, and drafted in the 10th round as a pitcher by the Dodgers. And then I kind of worked up through the system. I made my debut in 08. I was kind of on the slow track to get to the big leagues, then kind of switched over and got on the fast track. It took me about 4 years. Then I spent a scattered 4 years between '08 and 2012, and then kind of did your like typical like minor league bouncing around. And then I got out of the game and started, as far as my playing days, and I started scouting. I scouted for the Padres for 9 years and did that on the pro side. So the Padres covered organizations. It depends on the org. Some do it like regionally, like depending on where you live. But the Padres did it where we covered actual organizations. So I covered the Reds, Pirates, and Brewers for all those years. And then I switched over and became director of baseball when this Scoutus Pro, Scoutus College opportunity came up with Alex, who you mentioned earlier. And that's kind of where I'm at now.
Man.
Nice. No, that's was it '08? Was that coming up with Kershaw?
Yeah, I did. I played.
Right?
Yeah, Kershaw was. I came up with him. He skipped high A because they didn't want him to pitch it. They didn't want him to pitch in San Bernardino. They didn't want him in the Cal League because that place was miserable to pitch in. And also, he was a freak of nature. He didn't really need to pitch in that league, so
right.
he was able to skip that one right to Double A. And I played with him mostly in Double A, and then. That's like my claim to fame. I actually got called up to the big leagues before Kershaw did. So that's how I got on him. I mean, he just had a Hall of Fame career and that's it. But, no, but seriously, I played with him. He made his debut just right after me. And then we played through the Dodgers through all those years. And, I was pretty fortunate.
Who was your catcher? Was it
Russell Martin?
Russell was the main catcher, but I played with some other good ones because we had Danny Ardois, who was like a backup catcher who was really, really good. And actually Brad Ausmus was the other one that I pitched to him also. Yeah. Just smart, savvy dude who, I learned a lot from those guys.
Oh man. All right. We'll get into that. You know what? Actually, let's get into it now. I mean, how was it? Obviously, there you are. Look at that. Man.
The good old days, huh?
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Love pitching in Dodgers Stadium, man.
You had Matt Kemp on that team, right? I want to say.
Yeah, it was Matt Kemp and LaRoche, Broxton, Billingsley, James Loney, Juan Pierre, Orlando Hudson.
JP.
Yeah, man. We had that team was stacked, man. And it was actually, and it was cool for us to kind of come up through the Dodgers organization in general, to have like Don Newcomb, Jackie Robinson, obviously having that history. And then we had like a kind of a strange team because we had at one point we had like 9 African American guys on one team.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
we were all there at the same time, so it was odd to kind of see being that one team that have all those guys in one spot.
Right.
And it was great for us, and I think it was at the time it was really good for baseball. And obviously those numbers have dwindled since then, but it was a really cool atmosphere at that time with the Dodgers 08, 09, and 2010 in the big leagues.
That's dope, man. We had JP on the podcast last year now.
Yeah, last year we were It was last year in June in North Carolina.
Yeah, we had JP.
USA Futures.
We were honored to coach his son before USA Baseball, and he got selected, and he went to Panama with USA Baseball as a 12-year-old. It was pretty dope.
Oh, he's a freak, dude. Because I still talk to JP a little bit. He sent me some videos like, bro, like that's not normal. Like,
right?
it makes no sense. He looks like a little mini JP. Like he can run, but he's a little bit stockier built. Yeah. I was like, bro, this dude rakes, man. Like, what is happening right now?
He does everything right. Like,
yeah. And it's so easy to me because he doesn't try to do too much. He just slaps the ball the other way the whole time, and it's just
he's great.
Well, that was the beauty about JP. Like that was the one thing. Like when I came up, like that team in general, because at that time, like he's making huge money at that time, and his like routine never changed. He came to the same time every day. You get there at 12 o'clock. He changed in the same shirt, same shoes. He would eat, and then he would do his running. He would come in and bunt every day. Like this guy's making 10, 12, 15 million a year or whatever at the time, and it never changed. Like the whole time I saw him, I was like, this is what it was about. Like so. Me being able to see like the way that guy acted on a day in, day out basis when he didn't have to, told me everything about like what it's like to be in the big leagues or what it should be like. And it was just like the respect that I have for that guy was just next level.
Yeah, no, for sure. That I mean, guy respects the game and carries himself a different way, it seems like. So, but man, let's go back to your high school days, your shortstop, all that good stuff. I got drafted as a pitcher. And we talked about it offline about, some of these kids out here today are get stuck on the Division I, and everybody wants to. And it's so hard nowadays with the transfer portal and all that stuff. So, I mean, how do you feel about all that? What's your opinion?
Well, I think it gets lost in translation. I think, I understand like the glory of going to Vanderbilt or Coastal Carolina. I was like, that's great. It doesn't mean like they shouldn't have that goal in mind, but it doesn't need to be the end all be all. Like, you need to go to a place where you're able to play, because the only way for you to develop is to play.
Right.
Like, you're not going to do that by sitting on the bench. Like, go somewhere and play. And like we said, kind of like you said, offline, now they have the ability to transfer from year to year. Like when we were there, like where you signed is where you were staying. You weren't getting out of it. So you had to make a different kind of choice where you were going to, again, go back and you're going to be able to play now. Like, you need to go do that, get the time, and then you can move on. And I think the prestige of playing D1 is always going to be there. That allure is always going to be there, which is fine. But I don't think not passing over good NAIA schools, D2, D3, like, kids need to get over that. Like, that's just kind of the way I view it, because it doesn't stop you from getting to the big leagues. It really doesn't. I'm literally a walking case in point for that. Go to D2, doesn't matter. Like, go and play every day, and you're going to get better. That's just the way it is.
Damn, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's such an important message, man. Because at the end of the day, it's about going and playing baseball, and giving your best opportunity so you can be seen, right? And I think that's because a lot of times a lot of people rather go for the name than really play and be part of something, which is great, right? We all want to be a part of something, but then there's always that side too, where it's like, well, are you going to be a part of it for that year, and then now you have a down year, so you're going to go to another school and do all that instead of going to a D2 school or D3 or NEIA, where you're going to be playing. You're going to be able to go through those ups and downs. Because let's be real, if you go to the D1, you have a bad month, you may not even be in that position again. At least there you can kind of more have less of a pressure to where you're able to kind of mess up in a sense and still get those opportunities to go more than others. I think it's just, I think we got to start chasing the names and chasing your dreams. I think that's the reality of where kids got to realize that your dream can be seen in different ways, not in just one way.
Yeah, because in the end, your ultimate goal, because usually if you're playing some kind of collegiate sport, especially as far as, I feel like it's more of a tendency for male athletes just because there happens to be more leagues. They're doing it for a reason. Like, they're playing college sports to get to the next level. So you have to look at this as like a smaller step and a bigger goal. Like, so the only way to do it is to improve. And like we said, the only way to improve is to play. And you have to have that ability to be able to do it. And like you said, you're always going to go through like these trial and tribulations. It's just a part of it. Like, you're going to learn the most when you get the teeth kicked in. That's just a fact. And like you said, if you're at a big school, like, they're always trying to replace you. They're looking in the transfer portal, and they're going to try to replace you as soon as they possibly can. It's kind of like pro ball. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, as soon as they draft you, they're trying to replace you. That's just the nature of the beast. And if you're able to go somewhere and develop and have time to develop, that's where you're going to improve. And then you can move on from there. Like, you have to get a little bit better each day. And you can only do that if you're playing and practicing and that kind of stuff. You can't do anything if you're pitching 2 innings a year. Like, come on. Like, What are we doing? Like, you got to go pitch 40, 50, 60 innings or get 250 at bats. That's when you start improving. And I think that's really important for athletes, younger athletes, to understand. Like, you have to have that in your process or it's not going to work.
I agree. I mean, we can sit here and talk about it for hours about, it's like, I mean, I got a 17-year-old. It's like, he's got his dream schools, colleges, but it's like, it's a perfect fit for everybody. Like, everyone has it's got to be a perfect fit for you. Like, what is that perfect fit? Like, also, what do they need? I mean, you're going to go, obviously, go compete against that guy, but it's so much stuff that takes, it comes into place where even with the travel ball world, like, to have a kid go from our 8U program all the way to 14, it's so rare nowadays because, they want to try the next best thing, and I want to try this, I want to try that. This sounds better. They go to these tournaments. Or at the high school, it's like, if you had a shitty year one on varsity, I'm going to transfer out. I didn't like it here. Why, though? Why are you going to transfer out? Like, what did we do wrong? Like, okay, we weren't perfect. We lost in the semis, before Dodger Stadium, but why don't you go out and get better this summer and make us better and make yourself better? It's all win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I couldn't have said it better myself. And I think it's tough for kids to understand. And really, I wouldn't even say the kids. I think honestly, a lot of it comes from the parents.
Yeah.
It's like, they don't want little Johnny to fail. Like, bro, failure is part of this whole thing, especially baseball. Like, you're going to fail more than you're going to succeed.
For sure.
That's just the way that it goes. So that's okay. Like, it's good that it happens because, like I said before, you only learn when you fail. Yeah. If it's going great, like, you're not learning anything. But when you face a kid who's better than you, like, what do I have to do to make myself better? Now I have something to compare myself against. And that's the part that really matters. And, I've had the fortunate ability to to have dinners with John Wooden before he passed away in the early 2000s.
Wow.
Like as a group, when I was with the Dodgers, like coming through, they did like it was like a winter camp, and they got us to meet John Wooden. We had dinner with him in the Valley, and that was like the one thing he always talked about. Of course, of many that he spoke of, which was unbelievable. But he was always talking about getting a little bit better each day. And I think it's hard. People want to see the end game and jump from A to Z, and they forget all this other stuff that goes on in between it. And that, I think it's hard for kids, and it's hard for parents to just swallow that pill, because it's a tough pill to swallow, to say you're not good enough right now, but that's okay. There's
Right.
always going to be somebody better. It's just what it is. Like, I was a big leaguer. You know how many big league guys were better than me? Like, that's just is what it is. Like, there's levels to this, and that's going to be relative across the board.
You got to be able to face adversity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Hit him with it. That's Andy Lira's segment right here, Cory. He's gonna hit you with it right now.
Yeah, man. I'm a moment mentality guy, man. I grew up loving Kobe. That's my guy. My favorite athlete, even though I played baseball, but basketball was one of my favorite sports. But yeah, man. Like let's talk about the trial and tribulations where these athletes. So, was there anybody that you can say that you walked through where let's be real, there's a lot of high school, even college kids that don't see failure. They're just that good. But then when they go to the minors, they go do all that, you're going to experience it there. Did you ever find yourself or someone near you where you're like, dude, this guy doesn't know how to fail, hasn't gone through it? Because I feel like there's some of them that are like that, where it's like when you get to the minors, it hits you. And then some of them don't know how to deal with it because they never faced it when they were younger. And that could be because they were, their parents were sheltering from them, or they were just that good. But I feel like everyone goes through that.
The main, I won't name his name because I don't want to do him like that. But when I was scouting, when I was with the Padres, there was an outfielder, and he was from Georgia, and I mean, he was an absolute freak. He could run, he could throw. That guy it was unbelievable, like this guy's skill set. But he had never really, like you just said it, you could tell he had never really been around or faced people who were really, really good. And he got to the minors and he got abused. He got absolutely abused, and you could not make the adjustment. And it was like all of a sudden he realized that players were just better than him. Like, I've seen a couple of those guys. There's a big pick out of Louisville. It's the same way. Like, he couldn't understand like how good these guys really were, and could not make the adjustment off of that. And it just his career just kind of plateaued and just never got anywhere. And that's the hardest part, because you are going to fail. There's always going to be somebody better. But how am I thinking in between that? And I think that's the part that gets lost in a lot of these kids is how, like you said, how to deal with the inevitability of struggling, especially baseball. And it's important to learn how to figure that part of it out. And I know it's easier said than done. Like, let's not get it twisted, but it's happening. But yeah, I've seen a lot of those guys where that exact thing happens, where they just struggle. Like, they don't know how to do it. It has nothing to do with their skill set. Their skill set's unbelievable, but that's all, like, it's all in their head of how to deal with it.
And then what's one moment that you feel like you've gone through that where
There it is.
let's say because you did go through a D2, you did do all that. How did that help you be able to get through the moments to where you do get called up and you do go play for the Dodgers and Yankees?
I was lucky because, my dad always kind of discussed that part of the game, that there's always going to be somebody better. There's always going to be times where you're going to struggle, but you always have to go back to the basics. And when I always held on to the basics of what I did, mechanically being really good, getting through the baseball, these little small things I told myself all these years when I started getting out of whack to get me back online. And I would write stuff in my hat just as a simple reminder to pay attention to. But I mean, I went through it. I remember kind of going through it at every level. And I remember the one that really stood out was when I first got to the fall league, and I had taken my bumps through that time. But, when you get to the fall league at the time, it was a lot different than it is right now. The guys in the fall league, our fall league team we were bottom of the barrel bad. We had 20 big leaguers on one fall league team. And as we were going through it, I remember facing a kid in low A. So every team every team was allowed one high A player on the roster at the time. And it was a kid from the Red Sox. And I throw a really good pitch down and away, and he hits an absolute scolding rocket. And this is my first outing in the fall league. and hits an oppo home run. And I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know if I'm ready for this. Like this kid's freaking 18 years old in high A, and I'm like, I had been dominating in double A. And I mean, the ball was hit 115 miles an hour. I mean, the ball didn't get more than 20 feet off the ground, flies out the right field. I remember him going around the bases thinking in my head, like, oh shit, like I don't know if I'm ready. And then I was able to kind of calm myself back down. I was fine, but I'll never forget that kid. It was I could have gone without that. It scared me for a little bit. I was like, oh man, like, I'm in trouble, man.
What am I doing here?
Yeah. Did you see him in the big leagues? Did he ever get there? Or
I don't know. That was he never got to the big leagues. He was just like, and he was like just a guy. But I tell you what, he was still good, but just not good enough for the big leagues, I guess.
Right.
It kind of surprised me. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That is nuts.
Great info, man. Great
That's
stuff.
Great. That's great stuff. I mean, there was no spin rate and exit velo back then, and none of that stuff, man.
No, you could hear it. I didn't need the exit velo. When I heard balls whizzing past my head, I knew it was hit hard.
All right, let's get into that, man. Let's get into the spin rate and exit velo stuff. The pitch coming the hat. I mean, you're an old school kind of guy. I'm not calling you old, but you're an old school kind of guy. How do you feel about all that?
You know, I think there's a place for it, and I'm not anti that stuff. I'm fine with it. But to me, what's happened is that is driving everything, and that's the issue. It's fine to have that information. Like to me, that information tells you where you are right now, but it doesn't mean you're going to get outs or get hits or all these other things that go into the game. Like if the game's played in the computer, yeah, like all that stuff is really going to matter, but the spin rate doesn't matter if I've given up 7 earned runs. Like, what the hell does that mean? Your ERA is 9. Like, what's that matter? And I mean, I literally had this happen. I was scouting the game, and I met my buddy who was on the team, and all he was talking about was the spin rate. Like, man, my spin rate was this. I said, bro, you just gave up 8 runs in 2 innings. Like, it doesn't matter. It was a literal laser light show while you're on the mound. Your spin rate meant absolutely nothing, bro. Like, get outs. In the end of the day, it's all about getting outs. And again, it doesn't mean that you can't use the numbers, but it's swayed too much. It's taken the nuances out of the game. There's no real understanding of the game as much as it was. And it doesn't mean that these guys aren't physically extremely gifted, and it's not that, but there's just more to it than just seeing balls hit hard and fastballs thrown really fast. Like, it's great, it looks good, but there's just more to it than that. And I think that's what's gotten lost in all this metric.
For sure. I think we can adjust to it, like high school kids coming in, or 14-year-olds going to their pitching coach, or high school guys going to their pitching coach, whatever it is, like videotape, and throw the crow hop it to a screen. That's cool. That's cool, but I mean, like you said, come get out. It's like go throw a 2-0 changeup or a 2-1 curveball. Can you do that when the pressure's on? And if you can double dip it, man, now you can throw that ball into that screen as many times as you want. Yeah.
Right. I've never seen a plate that's 2 feet across and 9 feet high. Like that plate's only 17 inches, brother. Like the zone's a lot smaller than that screen. I know that. Oh man.
Dude, it's so funny because bullpens is kind of like getting out the way in the sense of like it's not as much. And I think that's like as in bullpens, as in pitching. Like, all right, you're gonna go execute pitches here, location here. Yeah. We're gonna face batters. We're gonna pitch backwards. We're gonna do all these things. That just kind of it's about. Okay, go hit your velo. Okay, let's see if you can throw 89 at your speed there. Okay, maybe. As long as you did it 2-3 times, spin rate was this. All right, cool. Now I did my job as a pitching coach. I think that's the problem there, where it's like, dude, we can we get them to pitch? Like, I think that's where a lot of kids don't realize that until you're seeing hitters hit 102 up to D center, and you're going, wait, I didn't even know hitters can hit that. Yeah, buddy. Anybody can hit a fastball.
They probably have mixed emotions too. Like, wait a minute, I worked my butt off at the bullpen, throwing into a screen, and my pitching coach told me that my velo went from 80 to, 84, 85, whatever it is. And it's like I keep getting hit hard, but it's like, well, dude, you're not pitching, you're throwing.
No, you ask any hitter, like, would they rather see 95 middle, or would they rather see 92 on the black? Like every hitter's gonna be like, I want it middle. I've never heard a hitter that say, yeah, man, I want 90, I want 92 on my hands. Like no hitter's gonna say that. So, and the zone's 3D. You get front, back, up, down, in and out. Like use the whole thing. And and it doesn't mean don't ever throw hard, but if you're trying to throw hard every single pitch, that doesn't work. But if I throw 95, but if I'm like 88, 89, 91, 76, 82, whack, 95. Well, that 95 now looks 110.
Right.
And it doesn't mean don't ever do it. And I think that's what gets lost. Like every pitch is thrown as hard as it possibly can. I'm trying to spin it as much as I can. And that's where the issue comes in. I can only control that so often and making every pitch 0-2. And it's easier for me, a lot of these pitching coaches, it's easier to teach kids how to throw hard than it is to teach them to pitch. There's a lot to it. Like it's an art. There's an art to thinking through at bats, when to use pitches, when not to use them. What kind of hitter are you facing? What's the situation? It's hard to go through all those steps. It's easy to be like, hey, bro, throw this as hard as you possibly can and hope for the best. That's boring. I don't want to see that. It's lame.
And now we got this. Now we got this right here. Look, we just go like this, and we get to
Oh.
reveal.
Oh yeah, that's coming too.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then now they're trying to tap the helmet. Hey, that's a ball. Well, I'm like, and then to me, there's a certain I would like twist that because if the ball splits in middle, where it's like half of it is in the strike zone, half of it is out. All right, I get it. But dude, if the ball skims just a little bit on the strike line and the ball majority out, how is that a strike?
Like, who are we asking? What dude did we ask if it was a ball or strike? I'm really
Hey,
curious.
you're talking to a pitcher. I want all those pitches, man.
No, I mean, I'm a pitcher too. But at the end of the day, it's like the umpires are there for like we're getting away from umpires that they make the fun of the game, even though we hate them sometimes. They make it fun. They keep them on your toes. They make you run the hard 90s. They make you do all these things to where it's like now
you think
it's
they're gonna
like,
bring that in?
Oh, I think it's coming for sure. The ABS, it's coming. I think it's going to end up like a tennis system. I think they'll get an X amount. I think they'll do it where hitters might get an X amount per game. Like each hitter might get one or two over the course of the game. Because I heard Cory Carroll talking about it, and it was a really good suggestion. As opposed to it being 5 for the whole team, he was talking about 1 or 2 per hitter for the entirety of the game. I'm not against that. Like the whole idea of like the replay, it's about the egregious ones, like pitch right down the middle and umpires like ball.
oh yeah,
Like come on, man, like we got to get that right. I'm with you. Like those balls that are brushing the side of the zone, like I'm okay with those being 50-50. It's those ones that are 2 feet out and like Eric Gregg and Levon Hernandez, and he's just calling stuff and freaking double that length outside. Like those are the ones we want to get rid of. And I'm fine with it, but it opens up a Pandora's box when you start using it. So like I can see the argument both ways.
But no, I mean, if you put it like that, that's true. We do have umpires where it's like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah, that's not a strike, man. Way to go. Yeah. The ball bounced in the dirt. Like, come on, man. Like, let's get this right.
Yeah.
So going back to the throwing part, what do you think these arm injuries are coming from nowadays? There's a lot of people with arm injuries, man.
It's all chasing velo. I know they had this huge study. Like to me, it's not any more complicated than that. And I think I shouldn't say that. The other one is I think kids play too much. I think they play a lot of baseball year round, and their bodies just aren't fully ready for it. Then you couple that with everybody's trying to throw every pitch as hard as they possibly can. Like your body can only sustain that level for so long. Like the way I always kind of equate it to people so they understand it, like that's like me going into the gym. Doesn't matter what your max is, whether it's 100 pounds, 50 pounds, 1,000 pounds, doesn't matter what your max is, but your max is your personal max. But if I go into the gym and I try to do that every single time, I'm going to get hurt. Like it's just not going to work. And I think that's what happens. It's chasing velo, it's chasing spin rate. There's no like just 2-0 curveball. They throw every curveball 0-2 and they're ripping it as hard as they possibly can. And when you're doing that, your body can only sustain so much for so long, and it's just going to break. It's just going to happen. Human body's not made to take that kind of punishment. And that to me is all that's happening. It's not any more complicated than that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you look at baseball over time, the injuries were non-existent for pitchers. Like it really wasn't. It was just like, okay, you go out there and you pitch because you were trying to get outs. I mean, let's be real. Verlander, the one guy that would start at 94, 95, and then in the 6th inning throw in a 99. And you're going, how is this even possible? Well, because he was out there pitching, and then next thing you know, when you see a 94, like you said, and you go 99 now, that looks like 105.
Yeah. Later
in the game as well. And I think that's where he always has success. Max Scherzer as well. And these guys didn't mind pitching 100 pitches, a game, because they knew how to pitch and they were okay with that. Their arm can keep up because they didn't need to throw 97, 98 all day. But then it sucks too because it's like, well, that's what the metrics have turned into now. So you have to be throwing that hard. Like guys don't respect 90, 91 no more, even if you're getting outs like that, unless you're from the left side majority of the time. I think that's where baseball, like we got to start coming back and being making what we call pitching fun again, where you can actually get outs and not worry about 99. And all that. And great, there's freaking natures that can do that, like Paul Skees, man. That dude spots up 90 on the 100 on the black. Good luck on that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other guys that are gonna try to be like
he's a
him that are not that big or that much of a freak. Where it's like, dude, you're gonna kill your arm 2 years into the major leagues and then you're done. Right now it becomes a whole Tommy John. Now it becomes a whole other year. And some of those guys, once you get injured once, your opportunity is pretty much done.
I don't know, man.
It's cooked. I'm with you because it's funny you said those two guys. Those are the two guys that I was going to name were Verlander and Scherzer. There's a reason why they've been able to throw so many innings because they didn't throw every pitch as hard as they possibly could. They saved it when they needed it. When they needed to pop one, guys found stuff off. They would pop one in there. But those guys, they actually pitched. There's not a surprise that those guys have thrown 4,000 innings or whatever in the big leagues or 5,000 innings. Like it's absurd how much they've pitched, and that's all. It only comes down to that. And Skeens is probably an outlier. I think he's because he naturally kind of throws that hard. I don't think he's trying to throw that hard. I think the ball just naturally comes out of his hand that way, and hopefully he doesn't break down because it's rocket fuel. But he's easily my favorite guy to watch right now because he's pretty calm, man. Like I like that dude a lot.
Yeah, and then Chapman too from the left side is ridiculous.
Oh,
I haven't heard of him get hurt much either. He just naturally go out there and do it, bro.
I think it's poor mechanics as well. Poor mechanics comes into effect, and the pitching routine. I mean, Paul Skeens has his own. But, I mean, are you a firm believer in running?
Yeah, and that we used to run like crazy when I played. I mean, it was double poles and bow and arrows and stars, and we did all that stuff. Like running after we would run the stadiums, and I feel like nowadays their bodies aren't as conditioned as what ours were. And I think a lot of times that has to Derek Lowe. I used to watch Derek Lowe, and that guy would get better as the season got longer and longer. Then he was even better in the postseason. But his routines in between starts was absurd. I've never seen anything like it. It was super old school. I mean, he would run the stadium for 30 or 40 minutes after it starts. Then he would do the shoes long toss and all this running. And he's like, I'm trying to prepare for October. Like, that's what he always talked about. I was like, damn, you're right.
Dope.
And he just never got tired, man. He never wore out.
Damn. That's pretty dope.
Yep. That's...
So, man,
we gotta start running more again.
Crazy.
Why do you have to point at him like that, man?
Right?
I know, you know what I'm saying, because he holds us accountable. We have our running club,
so we haven't done it in a while, but we got to get back to it. Though we've been busy, but man, that's pretty cool. Well, how do you feel about the whole weighted ball things and what is it called, the plyo balls, all that stuff?
The plyo balls.
You're old school, man. You're old school.
I am. And I'm trying to. I guess I'm trying to adjust to it and get used to it and find a way to bring it into like an old school form, I guess.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to do it and be a little more safe than maybe what's happening a lot of the times. I do use them, but a lot of mine is more trying to get players loose, trying to get them active. I really do like the speed balls. I don't like the weighted, like the actual weighted ones where it's 7-8 ounces. Like I'm not a huge fan of those. I'll do them light with some drills because it helps the kids be able to feel where their arms are at. But I'm always really weird. We're very cognizant when I tell them that we are going to do it, that hey, you're doing this at 50%. This is just for you to feel the flow of where your arm is in space to make sure your hand's up on time. And then the speed ball, the 4-ounce ball, the 4.5 ounce ball, I like a lot. Because I think that's not going to cause like a huge issue, and that's only for like a certain age group. I usually only use those for like kids who are like 15 and up. I don't usually go. I don't go younger than that with the weighted balls. I try not to because I don't think it's necessary. Because there's just so much development. It's like, oh, my kid's small. He's not this. He's not that. Like, bro, he's 12 years old and he's 3'8" and he's 80 pounds. Like, give him some time. Like, he might end up being really big. I mean, I was 4'11", 90 pounds when I was a freshman in high school. I was 15.
Damn,
and I ended up 6'2", 200.
Yeah, that was me. I was 4'11", like
you were 4'11" coming into high school.
Yeah, yep, yeah. My wife saw a picture of me and thought I was in middle school. Like, hey, pump your brakes. I was 15. I was 15.
Damn, 6'2" though in 3 years, or how would that's crazy jump. But, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody has late bloomers and all that. But I mean,
that's dope. That's dope. All right, man. Let's get into Scoutus Pro. Let's do it. So talk about it a little bit. What do you got on it?
Yeah, so it started a handful of years ago, and we knew, and it really when it came up with Alex, like the CEO, it kind of fell in our laps, or fell in my lap really, because I hadn't talked to Alex in years. It had been I hadn't seen her talk to Alex in 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. And I literally was just all of a sudden, I was like, I wonder what Alex is doing. I texted him. He calls me the next day and he finds out I'm scouting and he's like, oh shit, like we need to talk. So this all happened in the span of like 36 hours. Like, I got to tell you about Scoutus Pro. So we started doing it. They just happened to be at the stage where they needed some scouts to start building the back end of this platform. Like, that's how I ended up getting involved. Like, it literally came out of nowhere. I didn't know anything about it and ended up involved in 36 hours. So in short, what the Scoutus Pro side, what we're doing is we know that there's more players than there are scouts. And how are we able to find all these players worldwide to create this database that is going to allow scouts and teams, whether it's international, pro, affiliated ball, are able to find these? Because some teams, especially internationally and pro ball, don't have the infrastructure to be able to scout players. So it's not so much the big league teams, but I think it helps them more internationally than domestically. And it was to simplify that process to be able for, again, college athletes who are coming out or guys who are already in pro ball but maybe got fired, didn't have agents, because a lot of players still won't have agents, to be able to put themselves out there that's not Twitter. And not saying there's anything wrong with using Twitter or X, or, having any avenue is going to be great. But now you're in a database for free, and then the teams pay for access to be able to find players to search for them. Like, I'm looking for a right-handed hitter that has plays at least this position, plays this position, has this ex velo, whatever it may be, and then they can search them and find them, then they can communicate and talk. So that's how like the whole thing started. And it's been really good. We've grown that database a lot. And then in the meantime, while we were doing that, the whole thing with like the college side started coming up. And that was always like in the back of our heads of where we're going to do with this college version. So it went from Scoutus Pro to the Scoutus College. And that is basically, it's going to turn into a recruiting platform where kids are going to be able to create profiles. They're going to be able to put all their transcripts, all their stats, their videos, so on and so forth, to create their specific profile. Then they'll be able to search for colleges based upon location, based upon GPAs, states, sports, and then you'll find the coaches. The coaches' information will be there. Then I can send my information directly to the coach via email. And we're adding some other updates where there'll be some messaging centers and that, but the information is out there. But being able to quickly be able to get that and get my information directly in front of a coach through an email is hyper important. Yeah. And having the ability for all kids to be able to afford it. There's other platforms out there where it's just cost prohibitive. Like, it costs too much. Yeah. And like, we got to get away from that. Like, let's go. Like, the whole goal is to give these kids an opportunity to be able to get to the next level, where it's pro, whether it's college, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever's relative to them. And that's what we're doing with the college version. And we'll have NIL stuff in there. We'll have all these other, a lot of AI is actually going to be involved, where they'll be able to send in videos, and then the AI will break it down, and it will give like a whole spectrum of all these different stats, statistics, injury prevention or injury risk. It will have that, and it will give it to them in just a couple minutes, and they'll have these reports that they can attach to their profiles. So it's going to be really comprehensive in what we're doing. Athletes are going to be able to get a lot of information easily, and that's really like the whole idea, is to be able to do this very quickly. That's the whole idea.
Damn, that's really good that you guys are doing that for the college side of it for the kids, because it's funny you bring it up. We talked about you mentioned Twitter or X, whatever, and I talked to our producer here earlier. He has a kid that's 16, 17, right? And those videos get lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
It's like, he mentioned something really good earlier. He's like, man, I go back to see that, watch that video again, and it's so hard to find. Even for me, it's like, I want to go see that video again. It's like, it's you either copy and paste that link and put it on your notes, or if not, good luck. Yeah. But the Scoutus Pro thing is gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna be huge, and I think people are going to really, really like it, just because it's gonna be super, super cost effective. Mm-hmm. And again, it's gonna allow them to be able to find colleges, find everything they need to find quickly and easily, and get their information to where it needs to be. Because again, it gets lost in the shuffle, and that's the problem. Now they'll be able to continuously keep on sending information to these coaches that will keep them in their emails, and then coaches have a tendency to read their emails. It's easier for them to be able to read it, and they'll be able to write like a little letter and have like a nice little email body that it go to, but all their videos, all their transcripts and stuff they're going to ask anyway are all going to be attached. So it's going to be, I think people and parents and athletes are really, really, really going to like it. So the one you're looking at right here, this is the pro version. So these are for the kids that are in college that are looking to, again, go pro, or if they're trying to go play international in Italy or Croatia or Czech Republic, wherever it may be, it doesn't matter. Or Japan. And that's what that one's for. So, and that the other one for the Scoutus College is launching here just in a couple weeks.
Right now, we're looking at like a launch like the first week of August is what we're looking at, and then the athletes will be able to create their profile, start searching, send their information. Then right after that, the college coaches will be able to search too, just like on Scoutus Pro. Like, oh, I'm looking for any kind of right-handed pitchers that live in like Southern California, and all those guys will pop up, and then they'll be able to search through. So I'm specifically talking about baseball, but we're gonna have all sports. This is gonna be we're gonna have water polo, basketball, football, so on and so forth. So it's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty damn pumped about it.
Yeah, I think
the running club could be in there too, and they can watch you run.
Yeah, what if the
distance, college coaches,
the metric of your stride, if it's going good,
we have the Olympics coming up here in a couple of years, so you never know, Lira. You might
I am there. I don't know about you, but I am there.
Stop it.
I might just do some water polo and do all that stuff myself.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
We can listen to Prefontaine over here in the University of Oregon.
There you go, Cory. Wait, there you go. Look at you. Okay.
Right there, baseball operations. How does that title sound to you?
I don't know. It feels kind of good. It feels kind of sexy right now. I think it feel a little important.
Well, you feel like, you know what, but you know what, that's good though, because at the end of the day, like when you get to your playing career and you finish, like a lot of guys, like we always talk about, is like when they're done playing, what do they want to do? You know, like and with us, like I've always wanted to help the younger generation, like right, like because myself, I had coaches like Gus here. He coached me in high school and all that stuff too. So, but there were some coaches that were just, you know, like not coaching in the sense and leaving kids high and dry and all that. So I kind of wanted to not do that and go in there and try to make a difference. Whether it be, I always want to make sure that I tell kids, don't ever say you can't, always say you can. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me, because as coaches and all that. So you going and you're giving this Scoutus Pro, now Scoutus College, a chance to go, oh, I can't make something because I don't have the resource. No, the resource is here. You can just put it together, put the videos in, do your whole profile. Now, next thing you know, you're sending it out to people. And then instead of doing a massive email or whatever it is, it's a massive, like,
there's no excuses.
Yeah, there's an app there that can get you to do that. And now our job here, which we will do in our program meeting and all that, is to get these kids that are going into high school now, the older ones, going into high school, where it's like, hey guys, you guys can build your portfolio through this all the way through high school so you can get a chance to go to college. And I think that's great, man, because at the end of the day, we're doing our opportunity as to teach baseball. There's more to that outside of baseball that you have to get there to get yourself out there. And I think that this right here, this app, this program that you guys are building and all that, is giving kids to do that while affordable to do that as well, so they can go everywhere.
Yeah, because it's hyper competitive. I mean, there's no way to spin it. You know, it is what it is. What it is. Like, is there a lot of flaws to the way the system works as far as like the NCAA system in college athletics? Yeah, of course there's some flaws, and it's just hyper competitive. So what advantages can we give those kids who might get left out, that don't have the money to go get, pay somebody 10 or 15 grand to have like these connections to these schools? Like, not everybody has that money laying around. Like, let's be realistic. Like, that's absurd to me. Yeah. There's a simpler way to do it. And if you do it kind of solo, it becomes really daunting to have to do it by yourself. And that's kind of what I had to do, because my daughter plays golf. And, you have to get everything together. You have to do X, Y, and Z. Then you got to send it. Then you got to get it. It's just like, it's a lot of these like unnecessary steps. And there's a simpler way to do it. And like, that's kind of where I feel like we're coming in to fill that void, to simplify this whole thing, to give everybody and put the power back in the athletes and the parents' hands, because there's just a lot of information. There's a lot of shit out there. Yeah. And how do we simplify that for the parents? And that's really the whole idea, is to simplify for them, being able to get it quickly, to find the coaches, to get the information, to send it out. That's what we need to do. And that's what we're doing with our product.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it's just for 13U and up, right? 13-year-old and up, Alex said?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's 13. It could be 12, but I think it was 13. The parents have to, right. They're the ones that are kind of creating. They're probably going to be doing it anyways as the kids get older. But yeah, right. 13, it really doesn't need to be much younger than that. I mean, I would tell people like, right now, having a 9 or 10-year-old on there, like, come on, man, like, it's a little early. Unless you're a little mini Kershaw, like, it's still not going to matter, because everybody's going to know about you anyway. So.
You'd be surprised what's out there.
That's the thing too. Nowadays is like, hey guys, like, relax, still play the game, enjoy the fun of the game as a kid, like, just play out there, get better. But it's like, I feel like sometimes parents try to make it too professional too quick, and I think that's a problem, right? But you end up burning kids out. You end up burning them out. Like, go and have fun. Yep. That's the key. Go.
Yeah, go have a good. I think you guys froze. My bad. Yeah, and like you said, just go enjoy it. Like enjoy the sport, enjoy for what it is, and then kind of go from there. And that's the important stuff about all this sports. There's a lot more to it than what's happening on the field. I mean, the whole idea is you can take a lot of the things that happen on the field and use them in your life. Dealing with adversity and dealing with all those things. Like there's huge parallels in how to deal with that because we know real life is hard. That's just. But for me, sports has prepared me to deal with the trials and tribulations in real life that are going to happen. So, I think it really helps with stress and anxiety and all these things that kind of come along with it. But it can also rear its ugly head if it's not allowed to be fun. Like that's the whole idea. Like, is go have some freaking fun.
Yeah. So, going back to Scoutus Pro, what do you? I mean, if I'm a parent, what would you tell? Like, hey, Cory, why should I sign up for Scoutus Pro? Because it's a good platform for my 16, 17-year-old, to load up videos, you put GPA on there. Like, I mean, what do you got for these parents that are going to ask questions?
The main thing I would really tell them is this whole thing, signing up and doing this is going to allow them to have the power and then dictate what they want to do with their athletes' collegiate career and being able to ease the stress of doing it, because trying to do it without a service it's stressful. Like there's not any other way to put it. And I hate like kind of using that word, but it is like, it's a lot of information. It's really daunting, but when you're able to use something and us kind of simplifying it, that's the part that I would tell any parent that it's not going to break your bank. And that's the whole idea. We want this service to be available for people. We're not trying to charge you, again, 5-10 grand. Like these other companies will do that. Like it's expensive. They are not cheap. And we wanted to be able to give the ability to open this up for people that aren't going to have the resources to spend that. So how do we do it? We lower it and still able to bring people in to use the service to be able to simplify that recruiting process for their athletes.
Boom. Done.
Yeah, and I think there's proof in the pudding that we just saw right now with guys. It works, right? It works. It gets you out there. There's a lot of hits. I know, and I don't know the numbers, but I know the numbers are pretty high with that. So parents, like, it's why not take a chance? What's the worst? Either you sit at home and hope that something comes to you, or you either go out and go do it yourself, right? And we all pay subscriptions. Let's be real. People pay hundreds of dollars. People pay Amazon Prime. Netflix, right? Like, here's another thing that can do that, but this time it can get you the benefit to where you can do these things from your home, upload it, and it does the job for you to do that. And let's be real, the kids nowadays, all they do is use phones. They worry about the cameras. They worry about all this. It's like, hey, man, go build your portfolio. Like we talked about it before. Like, there's kids out there that are just good. Some scouts miss them.
Yeah.
Well, this is an opportunity that to get them back in your eyes, where it's like, man, how did I miss that guy?
Now, like Game Changer, like every game gets recorded. Everybody has cameras behind the dish. Everyone has their phones out when their kid is hitting, whatever it is. Including my dad when my son's hitting. It's like it could be a 5-minute at bat. My dad has a whole video. I'm like, Dad, I just want whatever he did at the end. Anyways, but we
got to splice this up, man.
Exactly. So you can crop it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can upload old videos, right, on there. Like you can.
Yeah. If it's on your phone, you can upload them. It doesn't have to be something that's currently there. This could be stuff from 2 years ago or whatever it may be. Like you can upload
progression.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, so because we purposely put a free version for kids who are in the eighth or ninth grade, where they're not going to quite be doing that recruiting process, like full all in. So for free on the Scoutus College, they'll be able to go in, create their profile. That won't cost them anything. They can start adding the information as they kind of get it, uploading their transcripts, and they'll be able to re-upload them as they're getting more and more grades, more and more videos, and that progression. And then the version after that is $20, and then that's when you can start sending them out to colleges when it's time to do that. Because there's rules and stipulations of when the college coaches can contact you and all that. And we could have a whole nother segment on recruiting rules. We won't get into it, but we purposely put a free version so kids will be able to get on, start creating that before it's time. Then when it's time, then they can move up and progress from there, and then start going and sending information out. So that's
dope.
why we did that on purpose.
Okay, so it's free to create your account, to upload stuff,
Yep.
and it'll do all that. But once you want it to get to other people and all that, you got to pay the subscription for that.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
next
correct.
level. Okay, dang.
Yep.
So that's dope. It
Yep.
gives everybody
Yep.
a trial to understand how to use it, what it does, and then all right, once you're, I guess, comfortable with your profile, then you can put it out there and go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
all of us can picture the Dodgers or the Yankees. You know.
Yeah. But if you want to get your best chance, go Scoutus Pro, man.
Yeah.
Scoutus College, you know.
I mean,
It's like at the end of the day, it's like going to a showcase. You could do a showcase
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
phone. It's
no
or you
doubt.
can do both. Go to
Yeah.
the showcase and upload what you did at the showcase on your thing, and now you have
This
a double
is gonna
showcase.
be great for these kids, man. There's
Yeah,
so
we
many
do.
kids out there.
We encourage them to do that because it give them good fresh statistics, and those kids are going to the showcases anyways. Like they have it
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
and this just another place. And it's not even to fully replace anything. It's just another tool in the tool belt. And the
Right.
more tools you have, the easier it is to build the house.
Especially right
that's
now.
just a fact.
Especially
Especially right now.
Whew.
Especially right now.
Yeah, for sure. Man, Cory, this was great, man. I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm glad we got to do it. Finally, we got to, freaking have a podcast with you. And
Yep.
thanks to Alex. Alex, you know how Alex says, Alex, you better do it. You better do it.
Oh yeah, I know he was all over your
He
ass
was
too. I
all
know
over.
Alex. He was all over.
Let me
you.
call Cory right now. Like, we can just. But no, man. Before we let you go, we're gonna hit you with my segment
Yeah,
here.
it's Gus Rigo segment.
Yeah, my segment here. Before we let
Okay.
you go, we're gonna hit you with some rapid questions here. You ready?
All right.
I might
Let's
know
do it.
the answers to this since you're old school, anyways. Pitch clock or no pitch clock?
Pitch clock.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I got you. You're already 0 for 1.
I'm already over one. Huh? All right, favorite player of all time.
Chipper Jones.
Damn. Okay.
Damn, I thought he was gonna say Derek Jeter because you look like Derek Jeter, bro.
Hey, I wish I was him. I'm not gonna lie.
Right?
He's worth like what
Wait,
$500 million.
did you play with Derek? You played with Derek Jeter though, didn't you?
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did play with G.
See?
Yeah.
Damn. That's
Yeah, we
dope.
forgot to ask that one.
Man, that's pretty dope. DH or no DH?
DH.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Dodger dog or nachos?
Oh, Dodger dog.
That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. If you 2-1 pitch, 2-1 count. What are you throwing? Curveball or changeup to Ohtani?
Change up.
Damn.
Get him on his front side.
Change up.
Okay. All right. I
All
like
right.
that.
My changeup was better than my curveball. I almost went too deep. I was like, hey, what pitches did I throw to him before I threw that?
That's pretty good. All right, man. Go ahead, Lira.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you again, man, for coming out and giving this episode 50. Man, this is great right here, dude. I mean, great info, great conversation, man. It really is. You're a great guy that comes out here and speaks freely, and we really appreciate that, man, for doing that and giving us all your pointers, your little stories. We'll get to Derek Jeter's story eventually, but being able to go give us the Dodger stories and all that, especially with a lot of our fans here from the area and all that. So we do appreciate you doing that. These kids, parents, please ask us about Scoutus Pro. We have that. They're going to come out to our program meeting and talk there as well. Thank you, Cory, for giving more in depth of stuff as well from another person out in the app and process of all that, because it's always good that everybody speaks the same language, and that's what you're doing here. We are thankful for that, to giving our kids and everybody else another outlet to get out there and to get eyes seen on them, because at the end of the day, that's all we want. Especially that's what we do it for, to give them the ability, the baseball knowledge. You do it for to give them the ability to get their knowledge and their ability out there to be seen, and we appreciate that. Thank you for coming together with that, and don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button. It's free. We're gonna have more guests like Cory. Hopefully he comes back out here, maybe in person. We talk about things more in depth. Maybe we have a different thing with the pro, with that and stuff. So thank you again. We appreciate it. Episode 50.
Thanks, Cory. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Anytime, man. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. We'll get into it.
And
We out.
We out.